Our second teacher is called Jamal Yasin. He's also a primary school teacher at Patimbo Primary School, which is found in Kiteto District in Manyara region. Welcome, Jamal.
Thank you.
You can at least say hi to the people.
Hi. Hope you're doing fine. Today is my day. I'm here to talk to you a lot. Thank you. You're going to hear a lot from us.
I will answer on their behalf. We are fine. So it's the same question. We want you to tell us, you have been in the PRELIM project. What have you learned and what have you applied in your class?
Okay, in the PRELIM project, I have learned a lot of things. And first of all, we talked about creating study plan, whereby when you get in the class, you should have a plan. And a plan is the one which also helps to save time. If you don't plan what you are going to teach, it means you are going to use a lot of time. Maybe you come to the right thing that you want to teach when it's already late, you're out of time. But when you plan what you are going to teach, you create that plan, it will be easy for you to move from one point to another and reach the conclusion when you are still on time. And also we learned about articles like an, like a, and the zero articles. At times I also got a lot of friends from right here. I can decide to go maybe to Mwanza and I can meet someone there. So there were a lot to learn from the PRELIM II project.
What have you applied in your class?
I learned a lot from the PRELIM and I've applied a lot. Example of them is on classroom management. In the class, we have some students who are noisemakers. So if you put them together, then you are creating disturbance in the classroom. So I have noticed them and I've put them far from each other. And when I'm in the class, it means they all concentrate because where they sit is with people who are very serious listening in the classroom. And also I've applied creating study plan, whereby before I get to the classroom, I create a plan from which point I want to start and where I want to end. So when I get to the classroom, I go straight to the point and reach to the conclusion on time. Those are just some. There are also a lot that I've applied. Thank you.
You can add more. We need 2 more.
You need 2 more?
Yeah.
Okay, another one that I've learned is in the issue of articles. As I said earlier, I also talked about the articles like an, the, and are, and the zero articles. At times you find yourself being confused on where to use a certain article and where not to use a certain article. Example, I learned that in the areas where we can use the article, most of the time it is not most of the time, it is used with the nouns. And also an, which is used with vowel, words which start with vowels, and also the words which start with the H. When you find a word like honor, which starts with the H, you use an. For the first time, you use the a article and then you change to the article after introducing that word.
Do you teach articles to your students, to your pupils?
Yes, I teach standard 7 pupils. We learn about the articles.
Is it easy for them to learn how to use the articles?
What?
Is it easy for them to learn how to use the articles, or are they struggling learning how to use the articles?
The ability of students to understand depends on the teacher's ability to teach them. So through the different methods that I've learned, may I come to understand that I can have this method, and if I see that they are struggling, I can use another form. Maybe I give them an exercise, then we come to look at those things again. But before, it used to be a lot of struggles, but after learning, I come to guide them that if you see this, you know when to use, because we learned the rules, you know where to use the rules to use the rules to use an and the rules to use a. So I just tell them, which word do you use in this sentence? We refer to the rules, and then we see that rule. So through that, they come to understand easily.
Okay. Do you have any advice to the teachers, to Telta, to CES?
I haven't had the question. Pardon, please.
Do you have any advice to Telta, Tanzanian English Language Teachers Association, to the teachers, your fellow teachers, who were not in prelim, and maybe to the Center of English Studies? Anything, any word?
Okay, things to add. I think, first of all, the first advice of all is to the Telta. Is that we shouldn't only involve teachers in these trainings that we do. At times, I think we have to conduct something which will also involve students. Example, we can decide to maybe conduct, although visual is difficult for the students due to the issue of phones and what, but we can decide real trainings. Maybe we decide this time we are going to do it in Mwanza, and maybe we decide to select maybe top 5 English students in each class or pupils in each class. Then we decide maybe we decide maybe this time it will be in Mwanza region. We decide maybe to take 5 students maybe from the top schools that we know. Those top 5 students, when they get there, they get that knowledge. They are taught different ways which they can use to learn. And when they come back to those schools, they'll also help the other pupils. And also that may act as a motivation to other people to say that, oh, so English is a very great thing to study, because it will enable me maybe to travel to different parts and to also engage with different people. So that's the first one that I have for the Telta, and maybe the ambassadors who are together with Telta. And when I come to my fellow teachers, what I like to advise them is that they have to know that, like the way Mwanaidi said, I remember that once a teacher, then you should be ready to learn every day. That if you decide to be a teacher, then every day there's something new to learn. When you are used to the old methods of teaching, it means that some students are upgrading, and we also have the technology. So if you get started to the traditional methods of teaching, you'll find yourself, you're losing a lot, and pupils are very far. You get to the point that you also use past examples which are already not in use. But if you are current, you are learning, you also get new examples to use, and also increase the understanding of the pupils due to using current examples that are in the environment. I hope I'm done.
Yes, thank you so much. And I hope to see you next, maybe in the next session very soon. Thank you.